tuning in. I am going to be interviewing today Jessica Durant, who is the latest artist to be featured in the Illuminate Her program at Spanx. And you might be saying, what is the Illuminate Her program at Spanx? Well, we are always looking for ways to elevate women, and we like to elevate entrepreneurs, artists who are entrepreneurs, musicians who are also entrepreneurs, and today is a special day because we're elevating and talking to Jessica Durant. But I'm going to show you a little bit about the program and the previous winners and women that we've collaborated in the past. The first one that we collaborated with and highlighted was Kim Shusler. And so there she is right there. And we put original art of Kim Shusler's on a bra. This was no easy feat, you guys. And I love this one because as you can see, this bra showed a girl holding wildflowers behind her back, and the girl is on one cup and the wildflowers ended up on the other cup. One of my favorite bras. I loved it. Loved being in collaboration with Kim. Our next featured artist in the Illuminate Her program was Paige Gimmel. And there's Paige right there. She's an amazing artist. Her work ended up on bras and panties, and this bra was one of her original pieces of work. And what I love about this program is that we're highlighting female artists, but we're also giving consumers a one-of-a-kind, limited edition, original piece of art to wear. And it's the most exciting program. I have all of their products that have been created. The next recipient of the collaboration that we did with Spanx was Melissa Mitchell. There she is. Hi, Melissa. And her work ended up on a bralette. That was just so cool, and I have this as well. And then we featured Patricia Wolf. Hello, Patricia. There she is. An amazing artist here in Atlanta, and her work ended up on bras and panties. I happen to be wearing this panty today. Maybe that's TMI, but I am, and love Patricia's work as well. And so today's about our new featured artist, Jessica Durant. And her work ended up on activewear, which was so exciting. You know, we've been doing bras and panties, which we love, but this collaboration ended up on activewear and activewear leggings. And if you stay tuned in until the end, I'm gonna tell you ways that you can win her active set. So without further ado, I don't know, Jessica, if you're there, if I'm supposed to press something, but I would love to be talking to you live about your work and who you are. Introduce you to everyone. Jessica, everybody, grew up in Las Vegas. While we're waiting for her to join, she grew up in Las Vegas. She has a big family. I think she grew up with 4, and her mom was a seamstress, and her mom inspired her to become an artist. There she is. Hi, Jessica. I'm talking. Let me finish my introduction of how amazing you are, okay? So, and if I say anything wrong, you correct me, but your mom was a seamstress. She inspired you to become an artist. You grew up in Vegas. Yep. And you started out in fashion illustration, but your work has completely evolved. And you are inspired by women, travel, music, and positivity as just some things. Yes, I love that. And you've used manifestation, I hear, and visualization to give yourself the confidence to create your work. Yes. And I'm a believer in those too, so I'm really looking forward to talking to you all about that. But before we get started, I just want to say I got introduced to you, Jessica, at the Spanx holiday party. And for anyone who's tuned in right now and ever looking for a unique thing to do at a party, book Jessica, because she did a very quick illustration of every couple at the holiday party. And I mean, I think you did this in 5 minutes, Jessica, but I want to show you what she did.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
That's Jessie and me. And I mean, you even got the gold in my dress I was wearing that night. And I mean, it was such a cool memento to end the night with that.
Oh my, that was such a fun event. I feel like I had maybe 1 or 2 events after that, before COVID set in. And I kind of went to that event for Spanx, and I was like, I have a feeling everyone's going to want to be illustrated. And It's just going to be a fun night. I always bring gold because gold's like my favorite color. I love it on black.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, girl, Sarah's wearing her like black and gold sparkly outfit. And I was just so excited to meet you. I'm so inspired by you and your story. It's such an honor and privilege to be talking to you today.
Oh my God. Well, I'm so excited to hear about you because one of the things, I wrote in my Instagram and I saw that you commented, that you didn't know that my mom was an artist and my grandmother on my dad's side is an artist. So I have artists on both sides of my family. And I know that being an artist, you have to be really vulnerable, like it's scary. You have to be willing to put your work out there and receive feedback and I want to hear about your journey. I want to hear a little bit about your story. I'm just going to open it up to you on tell us about who you are and then how did you find the confidence to start showing your work and become an artist?
Oh, girl. Well, I always knew I wanted to be an artist. So I had been drawing since I've been 3 or 4. And like I said, my mom was a seamstress. So she would take me to the fabric store and she would be like, hey, I want to make you a dress. And, she would make us like matching dresses because I was her only daughter at the time. I had 3 brothers. And so she really connected with me because I was pretty girly girl, at a young age. And we went to the fabric store and it was like, I saw these giant books that had patterns in them and they were like, they were full of fashion illustrations. And I just remember sitting there as like a young little girl and realizing I had found like this passion. And I felt like I had discovered gold, And you couldn't buy those books. So I remember being like, okay, I just got to visually like take in all this stuff and maybe next time we go I can like look at more and I can ask if they'll sell it to me. They would never sell them. But I loved that my mom could basically create something that didn't exist. So it was very like, she was very tactile. She loved using her hands. So the interesting thing about my story is there are no artists in my family. So I always kind of felt like a bit of an outsider, I would say, because I couldn't, like, I saw creativity in my family, but I didn't see it flourish. So I also grew up with the kind of the messages of like, women aren't really supposed to like do anything other than be a caregiver and I had big dreams and I didn't even realize how ambitious I was until I started really pursuing it. And I remember listening to an interview that you gave, and I think it might have been with Reese Witherspoon, where you talked about like how we all have masculine and feminine energy. And, kind of realizing that like the things that I was told growing up were masculine, like being ambitious, that type of thing, I think I had stuffed down and I never even knew that that was part of me. But anyways, there was nothing else I was interested in. So when I went to college, I remember like checking my major art and being like, oh, this is silly. Like, am I really ever going to be able to do this? And because there was always this part of me that was like, I really believed in myself. But then there was another part of myself that was like, you're crazy. You're going to fail. You're not good enough. Everybody else is better than you. They're so much more talented than you. And then there was a part of me that was always like, but I have a lot of heart. And I don't think people know that. And it's hard you don't take tests in school for like, your emotional intelligence or how much grit you have or how much passion you have. Those are things that play out the longer you pursue things in life. And so I went to college. I studied illustration. I reconnected with my love for fashion illustration when I found out my university had an archive collection of Vogues and Harper's Bazaar, so all of them. So I could pick them off the shelf once again and like smell an old book and look through like the past and be like, oh my God, like the dresses from the 50s and like, and I know you like a bright red and black and white and like all of that was like in the 50s. And so I really, once again, found a new level of connecting with my creativity. But I think by the time I finished school, I was so burnt out. And I kind of was in this place where I thought everybody else in my class was better than me, because you do go through a lot of critiquing in art school. So you're constantly making things, but you're not really making things from your heart. You're doing a project, you know, that's, you learn a lot in school. It's valuable, very, very valuable. But like the real art happens when life happens, right? So the real art is made when, like, I almost cursed there, but when crap happens to you.
Right.
So, and as you know, the only way you really get to what you dream about, Sarah, is when you are vulnerable, right?
Well, I want to talk to you briefly about the hardships, because I know that you know, talk to everybody a little bit about the hardship part of you growing up. And I believe you got married, you know, you grew up in a very religious home and you got married very early on. And,
Yes.
and that you know, talk a little bit about that if you're willing to,
Yes,
how
yes.
you came through that time.
Right. So I did get married young. I don't have any regrets because that really made me who I am today. And but I spent a decade of my life with somebody, and I found out they had another life. And when I found out they had another life, we had moved to a new city. I didn't have work. I was super isolated. Didn't have friends or family around me. So I think a lot of people could relate to that dynamic now, especially. Um,
So
and
you were married for a decade, and was it at the 10-year mark that you found out that he had another life?
it was about 5.5 years in.
Okay.
So,
And
and I was supporting his career. We were moving all around the
mhm.
country, and I was happy to support his career. I saw my mom do that for my father, so I, I think it was just a very natural thing for me. But at the same time, I was kind of stuffing down what I dreamt of, and so
Were you doing art at all during that time?
I actually, so back to when I graduated, I didn't make anything for 2 years.
Okay.
So that was kind of a very strange time for me. But
Yeah.
what got me back into creating was my first trip outside the US. I was like, I have to go to Italy. You know, if I die tomorrow, I have to have said I've gone to Italy. So I went to Italy. That was my first experience outside the US. And it's a really important place for artists too, because of like the Italian Renaissance. And so I came back and I was like, I've got to make things again, you know, and I just started making things again. And at the time, I was kind of working at an art museum and then kind of deciding if I wanted to go down that path or if I wanted to try teaching. And um, a lot of the people around me were like, you need to sell your stuff. And I was just like, oh, you're really nice. and, um, and then I realized, then I found out about Etsy. So Etsy changed my life. I found out about Etsy,
Yes.
and
Etsy's
I
so
I
great
remember
now.
posting my first like listing and then kind of forgetting about it. And then like maybe a couple weeks later, my first sale came through, and I was like, is this real or is this fake? Like is the, you know, because it was like back in 2009, I think, and I had never really bought anything off eBay or whatever. And I shipped her the art, and she lived across the country. I didn't know her, you know, it wasn't a friend or a family member buying my art. And then she left a positive review, and that I think meant more to me than a lot of other things that have happened since then. And I've been able to do incredible things, and I think things that were pipe dreams, right? And
Yeah.
um but that experience brought such an energy to me and such a, okay, I remember thinking, if I make what I love, I can't be the only person in the world that's going to love it. And I know that
I want to stop you there for 1 second, because that is such an important thing that you just said. When I created Spanx, I was so terrified. I'm like, everyone's going to laugh at me, think I'm crazy. I don't know if this product's any good. And any person watching, you know that that's how you're going to feel, and that's okay. You're not alone. And then I just remember having this moment of like, well, if I love this product, you know, if I'm putting it on under my white pants and I'm able to wear this, I can't be the only one. So
right.
I love that you are, you know, hold on. It says, please wait a few minutes before you try again. I don't know. I'm getting a red alert. Are you getting a red alert on yours? I don't know
No.
what that means, but Hopefully we're still filming and still live. Um, anyway, okay, so but that moment is really important. And I love that you then found the confidence. Getting that feedback was so critical, but taking the risk to do it and to put yourself out there was the risk, really. And then the payoff and the reward was people buying your art. But I want to jump for a second to the art that you did that ended up on the Spanx apparel, because I think that I just want everyone to see it, know what it is, and then I want to talk to you a little bit about that process.
Okay. Well, I think it's so beautiful.
I'm so bad with IT stuff.
No, I know. I'm an
doesn't like me
too.
Okay.
So I have the beautiful, got the sports bra.
Yeah.
I think and then I have the booty boosting leggings. Which,
do you have the actual painting or the art that it was?
When we first did I found out I was the winner. I came in and formally brought over the originals and made some other ones too, in case the scanning or the photographs didn't.
Oh, okay.
So they should be somewhere.
All right. Well, is it here? Oh, hello. I'm asking you for it, and it's right here. Let me do this. Can everybody see? That's the original, and then how it ended up. I love it.
I love your little mood board you guys have created.
Yes, I've got the whole. I'm channeling Jessica Durant behind me. You're a believer in visualization and manifesting. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and how that's worked for you?
Yeah, so that's, I think, one of the reasons why I think I connect with your story the most, is because sometimes I feel like a bit of a freak with the amount of positive thinking that I do. And, but the more people that I tell the stories to, I think it really allows people to say, oh, wow, they can really be inspired by it and try doing it. And I think I learned about visualizations and manifestations by reading a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Yeah. It's a book that came out, I think, in the 70s. And it's my Bible. And I'm always telling people to read that book, because I actually read that book when I was going through my divorce, and seeing a therapist who was actually also an art therapist. And she also recommended it to me. But then somebody bought it and sent it to my address. So I was like, this is a really good omen for me. Yeah. And so there were these great prompts where you would have to say certain things, right? And you'd say them over and over and over again, because if you say something enough, it becomes a belief.
So what were you saying? Like, what was something you were saying to yourself?
Well, one of them was, I'm going to be an illustrator, or I am. Not I'm going, I am. Okay. And you have to change the terminology to be like, it's happened or it's happening. I had quite a few. I had one that was like, my creativity heals myself and others. Because I've always been very, I think, willing, especially in my 30s, to share with people my story, and be vulnerable with people, because I want to be that person that I would want, to, I don't know, there's so many successful artists, but I felt like there were a lot that had a wall up, and I wanted to be the person that broke down the wall and told you that, like, I'm not any more talented than you. I don't have connections. I had like $50 to like play around with my art supplies. And so once I started doing those mantras and saying those things, I would start to get more specific, because I think the more specific you get, it's easier for the universe to bring that to you.
That is so true. Wait, I got to say something here. That is so true, because I've always said to people, dream specific. Like, a lot of people.
That's really good.
Everyone's like, dream big, which totally agree.
We need to make a shirt that says dream specific.
Yeah,
will buy it.
Dream big is important, but dream specific is even more important, because I would say to people, when you're asking the universe, like, for something, you have to be as specific as possible to receive it, And so I would say it would almost be like if you were standing in the parking lot of a grocery store and you said, can you just get me food? I'm wanting food. And then they come out and they bring you like 3 or 4 things you don't like. You're like, well, that's because you didn't ask specifically what you wanted. Like, exactly. So anyway, I'm a big believer in dreaming specific. I love that you brought that up and that you
Yeah.
were being specific. I also think it's important that you changed the language you were saying to yourself to I am an illustrator. I said that early on in Spanx. I said I am an inventor. I am an inventor. And that just
You're like
helped.
driving in your car by yourself and you're like, I am going to do this. I am this.
I
Listening
am
to
an
the music.
inventor.
Like, that's what I do.
And I had all the self-doubt too, just like you as an artist, because, you know, the
Yes.
inventors that we learned about in
Mm-hmm.
school were men. You know, they were like Thomas Edison and Albert Einstein, and where were the women? I didn't have a visualization of a lot of female inventors. And I had to kind of like keep rooting myself, like, I am an inventor, and you've done this and you're doing this. But the Spanx Illuminator program is, you know, for me, Jessica, it's really a big part of me paying my Oprah moment forward. That's kind of
Yes,
how
I
a
love.
lot of this
Mm-hmm.
happened. I
Mm-hmm.
started Spanx. I had no money to advertise. Oprah chose me as her favorite thing, which was like, cha. So I'm always like, okay, I've got Spanx now. I've got this company. How can I pay forward that moment
Yes.
and give other women
Yes.
exposure for their incredible work, their incredible products, their incredible service. And part of the program is that you were able to choose 5 other recipients of some money that we're giving from Spanx and some exposure. So can you talk a little bit about them and how you chose them? And
Yeah, I mean, I think I forgot about the charitable component. So I was really excited when you all approached me about that. And then you your team was like, "Hey, we saw that you've been doing these like business grants, which were directly inspired by you because you had the red backpack fund." And, I was like, "Okay, I'm having 2 really big sales this year. I'm going to take, a certain amount of money and kind of just surprise gift." The first time I did it, I did surprise gifting to 2 Black business owners back in the summer. And then I did it again in the winter, but I had people nominate. So I was already kind of in that vibration of like, I want to pay it forward, right? And so your team approached me and said, "Hey, if you want to donate to um, creative business, female business owners, like, how about we do that together?" And I was like, "Oh, I love you guys so much." So, and I had a very, very busy the last few months. And so, at the time when I sent the messages to the people, I was like so excited to just be like, "Hey, guess what? I want you to know I've been watching you, or you've been a part of my story, or I want you to know that you're deserving of this gesture that you were not expecting." And so I was trying to be as thoughtful about the people who I chose, and I tried to choose people who all have had such an impact on my creativity here in Atlanta. Because when I moved here in 2011, I was just starting, and I actually met a group of full-time female artists who became mentors to me. And to see them doing it full time, being badasses, was the most, it was a pivot in my life, And so one of those women was Christian A. Howe. She's based here. She does surface and pattern design. She's amazing. I love her. She always believed in me. She was always like, "Girl, just like, you are going to do great things." Just to have somebody say that to me, like make the eye contact and say that, was amazing. And then Rashida Coleman, she's also a surface pattern designer. Krista David, I know we're going to probably post about them, but I'll just quickly run through them. She's an amazing collage artist. Haley Simo, she's a painter, and she's just started to get into painting. And then Mercedes, she does these amazing paper collage cutout cards. And so they're all just incredible women. They have a great backstory. But to be able to send them that message was pretty, they all were like, "I'm crying right now. I can't believe you did this. It came at the right time." And I think that's the thing about women, especially, we have to listen to our intuition. And I feel like that's what makes us different, you know, makes us special is that we have such a strong intuition. I think like we always like lend a hand when it's needed. And so it's like if you're thinking about a friend or somebody, like you're supposed to call them because they need to hear
Well,
you.
Well, I love that you paid it forward to additional female artists. That's what this program is about, women supporting women, giving exposure to each other's works and what we're doing in the world. I want to jump to something that you have that's lucky. I hear you have lucky shoes. Is this true?
I let me see if I can put my.
Are you wearing them? Okay, I can't
Hold
really
on.
see. I can't really see. Do that again. Oh, wow. Okay. Those are really hot. So tell me about why are they your lucky shoes? Because I have a lucky something.
I think, well, one of them was because I got them right before the Spanx event, and I was like, I feel like, and before, I don't know if you know this story, I told it to your team, but like before the event was even scheduled or booked, I had this feeling I was going to meet you. And I had this feeling that was just like I could see it happening. And so when I was contacted about doing the event, I was like, oh my goodness. And I was working another event at Saks, and they had these shoes there that this my friend Kevin was like, you need to put these on. These are so you. I put them on. I was like, okay, I have to have these shoes. They're so sparkly. They just bring me joy. I feel, you know, confident and sexy and like a superstar in them. And because I do a lot of events and I want to always feel very confident when I do them. And so then I went to the Spanx event, and it just kind of gave me that extra boost of confidence that I needed because I knew I was going to meet you. Um, and then I came
You
home
ended up
from
paying me. Not only did you meet me and my husband. Well, I have a lucky something. I don't know if you've heard about my lucky red backpack, but this is actually in all of its dirty glory. This is my actual lucky red backpack from college, and I had it with me every step of the way for the first 7 years of Spanx. Like every meeting, it was my purse. I didn't carry a fancy purse. That was it. But I think that there's something for anyone tuning in right now. Find something in your life and declare it lucky. Like just
yes.
declare it lucky and say, this is, and for you, it's your lucky shoes. And I love that. And when I have my red backpack with me, it gave me courage I didn't have that to walk through the door at Neiman's. It's giving you courage when you've got your shoes on. And just find an object in your life, everybody, and declare it lucky, okay?
I love
and
that.
Start to bring you luck. So, well, Jessica, tell us about in your journey, is there an oops moment or a funny moment that's happened?
I mean, I was trying really hard to think of like funny moments, and I was like, oh, most of them is like feedback that I could never, that I've gotten from clients where I'm like, I can't believe they said that about my work.
What's
and I'm
something like to give me a doozy?
Like she looks cross-eyed and like, you know, but I'm so used to like seeing feedback now and being like, it's okay, I'm gonna fix it. Or, you know, but I think a lot of times like clients might accidentally copy me in on something that they don't think I'm going to read. And then I'm like, oh, this is what people really say. You know? And you're like, okay. But like you learn to take the hits. Like I feel like the longer you do something and the more you're vulnerable, you're like, it's okay. I need to hear feedback like that sometimes. It doesn't determine my worth. You know, it doesn't mean I can't turn it around. But yeah, I was trying to think of some of these things. I'm like, most of the
That's
things that are
good. That feedback was good. All right, we only have a few minutes left, so I'm gonna pepper through some quick questions. What is your morning routine?
I actually start every morning by journaling 5 things that I'm grateful for. I read at the top of the page 5 things, and then it's whatever comes to my mind. And I try to do my affirmations and visualizations, and I'm trying to cut back on caffeine, but I love coffee. So, but yeah, I just try to start my day in the most positive. Yeah. I know. And I'm using the one cup that you guys sent out. I love this.
Oh, good. Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
All right. What is your life motto? Do you have a life motto?
I have quite a few. I think one of them is tattooed right here. So it's always a reminder. It's a Nelson Mandela quote. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. I think it's definitely one of my favorite quotes, and it helps me kind of say, you know, am I making a fear-based choice here, or am I thinking about what could go right? And so I do that a lot. I think a lot about that quote. I also love if you build it, they will come. I think is really important to visualize, like, you know, if I make this thing that I will obviously create an orbit of love and joy and shared passions with, I mean, like, that's why I'm talking to you today. So yeah, I have so many. I love quotes.
Well,
So
look, I love the one that's tattooed on your wrist. That's a really powerful one. I don't think I've specifically heard that. I'm a Nelson Mandela fan, as we all are, but that one is really special. So thanks for sharing that.
you're
All right, I'm doing
welcome.
kind of a lightning round. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Acrylic or watercolor?
Watercolor.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite artist?
Henry Toulouse-Lautrec. He's French. He's a very famous French illustrator. It's all about line work, and he was the one who would paint the dancers and prostitutes at Moulin Rouge. But I loved because he was not afraid to capture women who were
Yeah.
not like the traditional woman, and women who were slightly sad or vulnerable. I loved that about it. So it's the essence of, like, I do a lot of work that has melancholy layered in it. So it's like I do the whole spectrum of, like, emotions, but that's my favorite to tap into because it allows me to channel out anything
Well, I
that
will
I'm
be
going through.
looking him up. So, leggings or pants?
Probably leggings. I don't really like pants that much, and I do wear leggings all the time.
Are you wearing pants or leggings right now?
I'm wearing a dress right now.
Okay.
But I have the actual Spanx that I wore on my wedding day on. So
you have your Spanx on that you had on your wedding day? Oh, that's amazing. And your lucky shoes. What Spanx are you wearing?
they're like the ones, they're just like the traditional ones that, like, I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, the shaper short?
Yes.
Yes.
They're amazing.
Okay. Awesome. Full panty or thong?
I would probably say a full panty.
Bra
Yeah.
or no bra?
No bra. But I have a smaller on top, so I don't have, like, as much of a problem if I, like, don't go with it, like, versus if, you know, it's all about your body size, right?
Well, Jessica, I wish I had more time with you. I have loved talking to you. And for anyone listening who is an artist, has creativity in them, they have a friend who's an artist, please DM me, and we'll give you the information of how to become an Illuminate Her featured artist. We have a few times a year that we select artists and we put them on our apparel, our bras, our panties, our active. You are the first artist to end up on outerwear, which
I'm honored.
this is the sports bra, and then here are the pants. So it's just down. Your beautiful, awesome art is down one leg, which I think is so cool.
And just I'll try to make it as quick as possible because I know your time is valuable. But we didn't really get to talk about the symbolism behind it. But I'll just briefly talk about.
Yeah, tell me.
So in the spring of 2019, I was rushed to the hospital because I had massive internal bleeding, and it took a long time for us to figure out what was going on. And once we did, I had surgery to remove a tumor that was in my small intestines, and that whole process was about a month long. And when I was going through it, I did a lot of visualizations to try to imagine healing that would happen in my body. And so that was my first time turning visualizations into something that actually felt like I was trying to visualize a painting or flowers or butterflies. And so I really appreciate that. Not only is it kind of wrapped around your body, and I feel like it kind of resembles the visualizations that I try to do, where if I feel like a pain and I get a moment of PTSD, I just try to imagine it's like a blossoming flower. Um, and so I think that, and I love that it's on a dark floral, because I feel like when I paint dark florals, it's because I'm trying to find beauty in darkness. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that I would encourage anybody who's buying this, like if they need to have a good luck charm, like I would hope that they could feel this and they could feel energized when they wear it. They can feel hopeful, because there was a moment where I didn't think I would make it out, and I'm just so glad.
Wow, I didn't realize the backstory to the actual floral. So I'm so happy that you shared that with us. And now when I'm working out in this, I am going to be thinking of your strength and what you overcame and visualizing for myself the same, you know,
Right.
and so your beauty on our apparel means so much to me. You brought such a wonderful dimension to what we create here at Spanx. And, you know, for anyone who's commenting, if you want to start commenting right now, I will choose several of you and send you a limited edition Jessica Durant, one of a kind, active set, the coolest ever. I did power sculpt yoga this morning, and my
Yeah,
power
girl.
sculpt instructor, I don't know if you saw it, she showed up in the full
She
set.
looks so good in it. I
She
love
looks
it. It looks
so
so
good.
glam.
I know. She looks so good in it. And so I am so grateful to you, Jessica. I love that we've partnered with you, and keep spreading your light and your art. You're so talented. I'm really glad you believed in yourself and you overcame a lot of those hardships to put this beauty out into the world. So
Yes, yes.
thank you so much. And for anyone who wants to get the active, go to spanx.com, or there's going to be a link in my bio to make it really easy. Just click on the link and it'll take you right to her set. I'm sure it's going to sell out very, very quickly. So if you're interested, don't hesitate. Get it for a friend in your life, and help support female artists.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you to your team at Spanx. It's been a joy to connect with you all, especially during the pandemic. And I can't wait till we can celebrate exciting things in the future. Hopefully, come back for another holiday party. And yeah, thank you for being the inspiration and the light that you are to the world. Because, like, I don't know how many people I've talked to about you who are just so grateful for you being the trailblazer that you are, because you are, and we thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to take you up on that. I need you to come back and repaint. Now I have brown hair. I call it
The
COVID
roots.
brown.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that.
All right. Well, much love to you. You're
Thank
so
you,
talented.
Sarah.
I love artists. I love women.
Thank you so much.
I am married to Jesse, but I do love women, and I just want to elevate them. So God bless.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh my God.